Real people, real celebrities, real talk.
Join the Breakfast Club.
Blast off in your
Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got the King of Brooklyn in the building.
Maino!
Maino?
What, Maino?
One question. Why does your voice get squeaky at that point? Morning.
That's his DJ voice.
Right there.
What part?
That's the you go right back into DJ mode right there. It's like you're doing a drop. It's like you starting your mixtape, like your mixtape off.
It's
the people's
moving.
choice. DJ Envy. It's moving.
And then he goes into conversation mode.
Yeah.
So what's up, Maino? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man.
Come on, you
Where's
writing
the
man.
crown, man?
You writing love
You know
letters
what?
to Angela Yee early this morning?
Hey, listen. If this wasn't Angela Yee, and me and her wasn't like the way we are, like sister and brother, like I love Angela, we cool, we talk about everything, you know, I would have sent her this note right here. Would you go with me? Yes, no, or maybe? Check the box.
Always got to lead a maybe.
What box would you answer, Yee?
My box. Listen, Maino got me in trouble a long time ago when I had a boyfriend.
Really?
I worked at Sirius, and he was saying, "What did your boyfriend get you for your birthday?"
What'd he
I
get
said,
you?
He got me an iPod. He said, "An iPod? What kind of dude you messing with?"
Damn it, man.
And he went off on him, and my boyfriend was very mad.
Oh, he's kind of right.
You still with that guy?
No.
All right, then him.
Oh, mind you, what year was this, though?
Yeah.
It's about 5-6 years ago.
iPods were popping back then, man.
Could have got more than the
That was
iPod.
just
How long was y'all together?
He didn't even get me to touch, though. I was upset about that.
Oh.
The iPod touch.
I might have just been hating.
He was
I might have just been
He was
hating.
like, "Oh, what?"
So
That's
where is
gift?
the crown?
You know what? I had a hard morning this morning.
Somebody took the crown from
No,
you?
never. Like, let's
Slow down,
clarify
Envy.
that right now. You know what? I left it home. I've been a lot of places. I've been up since maybe like 5:30, you know, and I had to emergency take my son to school, so it was a personal issue there.
Yeah.
So I had to do some personal things. So I kind of left the crown on top of the throne.
Oh.
You know?
That's in the toilet. Maino, stay on the toilet.
Yo, you gotta cut her mic off. Let's quiet her up right
How
now.
you know Maino stay on the
If
toilet?
she know
Yee?
my business.
First
She
thing
knows
Maino
my
said when he
business.
walked in, where did that?
Goodness gracious.
Listen, that's because I'm comfortable with the room. You understand?
Word.
I listen to the show. You get guests come in here and go just like this.
Right?
What up? Word.
Be scared to death.
Yeah, they scared to death
Yeah.
because dudes, they scared of you.
For no reason.
They
I'm a
be
nice
like, yo,
guy.
I had dudes call me like, yo, you know you want to see Charlamagne. I'm like, yo, me and Charlamagne been cool since cool been out.
Word.
Like, what are you talking about? I know Charlamagne for years. You understand? Before he even stayed in the city, like
Word.
we was in his own city. You understand? I'm cool. I'm amongst family and friends. You know?
Well, good. We should be able to talk about anything this morning.
Yeah, you go again. You want to be in my business? You know, listen, I'm not sleeping with none of your friends. I'm just letting you know.
Right now.
I'm not
You don't know
anymore.
who you don't know who I'm friends with.
Then I have a problem with that because if you got any friends that's worth sleeping with and you ain't sent them over, then I got a problem with that. Man.
Now, we do got to talk about the arrest. You got arrested in New York a couple weeks
what
back.
the hell
Allegedly.
happened?
Nothing. That's why it ain't even worth talking. Let me just tell you this though. I don't lose sleep about things that's not true. You understand? And we don't extra talk about stuff that's like that doesn't deserve light. But I was in a situation that you know what? Let me just say this. In my life, I just want you to understand. Anytime I've been accused of something, I swear to you, I listen on my life. I've always been at least 30% guilty. I've
You said
never
30%.
Yes, at least.
Yeah.
If somebody said I've done something, I have done something. Never in my life until this time here have I been absolutely 100% innocent. But that thing is about to get thrown out. It's already halfway out the door. I'm just waiting on the call to tell me it's already finished.
So you had
Because
to pay for a lawyer and all that.
pretty much.
Damn it,
Because
man.
the sad part about it is that particular situation. If a woman says that, then you have to actually go through the process.
Ain't that terrible,
Yeah,
man?
so it doesn't matter. Like you could be walking down the street and a woman say, "Yo, MB did this, did that." They gonna at least come and arrest you, and then you got to go through the process. Now the truth will come out in the end. But you know what? Most people don't hear the truth. Like
Nope.
they don't hear the part when in the paper they already said that she already gave 4 stories.
Right.
They don't know the part about us sending them the videotape of the whole situation and them letting my man go from the precinct because it was futile.
Right.
Like, you know, it was just so simply stupid and not true. They don't know about that part, but it's cool because I'm not here to make everybody happy. So the people that believe it is the people that don't with me anyway.
Well,
So it was a woman accused you of assaulting her, basically, outside of the club.
Yeah, outside of the club.
And when
Like,
the girl
who's
said that
doing
you're guilty until proven innocent.
Right.
Which is the
I
bad
heard
part.
the cops were actually
The
involved
cops,
that
the
night.
cops was there.
Yeah,
and they know it's not true. And you know what they say to me?
Right.
We apologize. We know what it is. You understand?
That sucks.
It
After
sucks
you
that
gotta arrest me and
but it
make me get a lawyer.
They have to do
you know
their
what though?
job.
They not the ones that even the cops that was there. It's not even the ones that arrested me. Like we talking about a person that said something happened in front of the cops.
Right.
Didn't report it to the cops and later called somebody else, called the DJ and said, "Yo, listen, the reason why I'm doing this is because Maino embarrassed me."
Well, it wasn't me. It wasn't this DJ. Okay.
Of course not. You understand? And you know, like I don't want to give too much light on it because because once it's all the way done, I'm gonna come back up here and I'm gonna really go in.
Okay.
You gonna put the video out?
You know what? We may be able to, but give me about a week or two because I just want to
finish
You know what I'm
everything
saying?
Yeah. You want to clear yourself anyway.
But it's also
Definitely.
bad because you have a son who I'm sure knows what's going on, and then he hears about this. And
Yeah, you know the good thing about it, we live in time when news is news, and certain things are really not newsworthy. They talk about it for a day or two. Sometimes you just got to give the Jay-Z treatment and just ignore it. You understand? Because up until now, I haven't even been asked about it because it's not even really newsworthy. Because truthfully, anytime you usually see something like that happens, you usually see like pictures, you know, so like it's none of that. It's none of that, you know. And I got absolute faith, man. It's like it's all good. Like I'm smiling. It's nothing.
Well, I can attest that Maino didn't lose any sleep over it because I heard about it and I tried to call him.
Right.
He was
We
asleep.
all try to
And I almost hung up on you, man. Call my phone with this. Like, it's nothing.
32 missed calls. I was
For
calling
real,
you
y'all
all
was
morning
calling
long.
me crazy.
All morning long.
But that lets you know. That lets you know the mentality of the people that we dealing with. They just looking for fame and you know, temporary glory. You know what I'm saying? And they just want to. I don't know, man. People just do crazy things. I've never been in a situation.
You think people taking advantage of the kind of gentler Maino?
That. Not in that situation. I think that situation is this: a person is just mentally not stable and actually really went through with that, you know, as some people do. And I've never that has never happened to me. Like I said, I've never been 100% innocent in my life until now. Like I'm sitting here going, oh my God, like really, like I didn't do anything. I didn't even do anything. Like you understand, like, but you know, in life, everything is a learning experience. I try to learn something from everything. So it's just like, all right, you know what? Whatever, we gonna get through this like we get through everything. It's nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody at my door protesting, you understand, because they know it's not real. So
You smashed a lot of chicks in your lifetime.
Oh,
You never
damn
had
it,
no
man.
girls be like coming at you on some pretending to be pregnant or threatening you in that manner? About anything?
Or Bill
threatening
Cosby
me
and
about
you?
no. I never had that about no false pregnancies. I don't think, no, because anytime somebody ever said that, I think maybe it was true.
Well, you've gotten some good reviews. I heard that you sent some girls like to the mental institution.
Why would I do that?
After you stopped giving up the penis.
See,
Tell
That's
us
just
about
what I
this. See,
heard.
Angela, you know some
Mentally,
inside stuff.
yeah,
Tell us
you
what-
Did that
Who
really
you sent to the
happen?
crazy house?
I don't know what. No, did it?
Heard
You
some-
mean you hearing things that haven't gotten to my door yet?
Oh, okay.
Who do you send to the crazy house? You tell us.
No, I just heard some girl he was messing with, then he stopped messing with her, and then she ended up
she
having
went-
to go to a mental institution.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Who's this girl?
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Don't walk down that road with you, Maino. Don't do it.
Yeah. Reversal out that
Yeah,
road.
let me get out of that.
You put this on Twitter. I found it interesting. You said small minds can't comprehend big spirits. To be great, you have to be willing to be mocked, hated, and misunderstood.
You have to be. You have to be willing to be misunderstood. You have to be willing to be, you know, to be stoned, so to speak. You understand? Because people, you know, when it comes with this life is the fact that you live a popular life, or you live a life that people are able to judge you from the outside, and you're not able to deal with that personally because they don't know you, you don't know them. But it's okay once you accept that. You know, this is the life that I live. This is the life that I chose, and people going to judge me and say things about me and talk about me in nasty ways sometimes. And it's all good. But you know what? I don't like to harp on the negative, because the love always overpowers the negative anyway. It's more love than hate, man. Regardless, they love Maino.
Do you feel
When Maino's doing right. Maino's been good the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Very good.
But your reputation
No
precedes
problems.
you, so
Yeah.
that's why people probably misunderstand you, because they don't realize
Yeah,
you're
it
really
does.
a cool dude.
It does. I'm a very cool dude, and I'm very confident. You understand? And sometimes in this game and in this life, people mistaken confidence with arrogance, and they mistake it as being overly aggressive. It's not. It's if I want something, I go after it. I'm very kind, man. You understand? But at the same time, I deal with my problems the way I deal with them. If we men, we should be allowed to deal with certain things. That's it. That's all. That's it.
Now let's talk about music. What took you so long to do this project? It seems like the last couple of years you kind of left music alone for a little bit.
Never.
You haven't been the
Never.
same grinding
Never.
songs, mixtape, Maino that I'm used to.
Never. This actually is my second project for the year. I'm actually doing more. The problem is that the records haven't been sticking the way they used to, and that's only because of the machine that I've not had. You understand? It's not that I've slowed down the workload. It's that the system hasn't been able to, work for me.
That's when you going from a major to an independent.
Right? No. Actually, I went from a major to nothing. So I spent 2 years just doing me. So this is it. I have 5 top 10 and top 20 records.
Right.
My last top 20 record was That Could Be Us. That was 2012. So from 2012, I was just out here on my own, having to figure it out.
Right.
Now, when you appear to need a favor, when you appear to be in the need of a favor, nobody gives you one. So I never try to go get a record deal. So I had to figure my own thing out. Then I went and did my Mafia thing, and then I came back to doing me. Earlier this year, February, I dropped KOB1. That was a mixtape that sounded like an album. And then after that, I was approached about actually re-putting that out through a system, through Sony Red. And the deal took long. I said, you know what, I'm going to give you KOB2. And here I am today. So I never, ever stop doing what I do. It's just that what people don't understand is that the songs you hear all the time is not because these dudes is better. It's because there's marketing dollars being spent on these records. You understand? It's a system. It's a process that goes behind a record. Like my record right now, Dreamer, #3 added record in the country. It's not because I wouldn't have been able to do that on my own.
Right.
You understand? It's not because it's just the dopest record I ever made. It's because there's a process. There's a plan in place. There's marketing dollars set aside for that, for the promotion of that, and it's people actually working in unison to make that happen. That's the difference. That's what I haven't had in 2 years. So now we back.
It's interesting that you're saying that going to get a deal is like needing a favor. You know, because so basically you're saying you want people to come to you instead of you bringing it. It's not that needing a favor, but it's like sometimes when you fall out with a record company, especially a major, then the consensus or the it may look like you're not as hot as you was. So it's like they on to the next. Well, if Atlantic don't want them, then why would I go out and sign them? That's just how it looks. So me knowing that, I never went that route anyway, because I felt like in order for me to do that, I have to create that energy. I had 2 record deals, and I never shopped a deal ever. They always came to me, and that's because I worked to create that energy. In the same situation I'm in now with Phase 1 and Sony Red, it's the same thing. I created that energy on my own, and right now it's the best time for that because the way the majors is today, we know the landscape of music is changing. We know that the economy of music is different now, and we know that the game is different. So doing things through a semi independent major kind of way, Sony Red, it's cool to do nowadays. Right.
So here I am. Like I said, I never stopped doing what I do. I always did what I did. And this is my second project this year. I've never dropped 2 projects in 1 year.
Now, when you didn't have a deal, Maino, you've been notorious for running up on DJs and making them play the records
Is that so?
before the deal. How come
when
you were off for those 2 years, why weren't you doing that?
It's not. No, I wasn't off. I couldn't get it to.
Well, not
stick.
off when you didn't have a deal. Why wasn't you running up on the DJ like, what's up?
I had a song called "One Bad Chick."
Absolutely.
That had done well in the clubs in New York. Like people know it in the clubs. That done decently, but I couldn't get that to travel outside of New York. And if you ain't getting a record to travel outside of New York, then what you really doing? See, let's keep it all the way real. I'm not gonna come up here and play the game. I never stop doing what I do. Now I get the love, and I could get the DJ to play my record here, but how long is that gonna happen? You understand? A record that's just getting played in New York may not help me in the overall scheme of things, because the truth is a person in Florida be like, damn, I ain't heard him in a long time. And it's not because I ain't been doing my job.
True.
It's just because I haven't been in a situation to help me, maneuver the way I need to. Like I said, Dreamer, #3 added record in the country.
Now let's talk about last time you were here. You were saying that you were ready to settle down.
Oh, when did I say that?
You did. You
when
said
did
you
I
wanted
say
a girlfriend.
that?
I don't remember that.
He doesn't remember that.
remember that
She just threw this out there. When did this
Now,
happen?
Maino, when are you gonna get sick of all these hoes?
Tonight, just right there.
Oh.
You've been after that one for a while, Maino. Maino, you've been after that one for a while that just walked by.
No, that's my friend. That's actually my friend. We cool. What's her name? Come on, stop it.
That's my friend.
Come on, stop it. I know her name. Stop it. Stop it.
But you have the song with Meek Mill and Yo Gotti, all these hoes. When are you gonna get done?
See, but that song is not about hoes. You see, all these hoes, what a like me, because like me get straight to the money, because whatever. But it's really about dudes. It's really about and all these hoes with a like you, because you know what I mean. You just so goddamn lame. You know what I mean. So, but when
so the men are the hoes.
Right.
Okay.
So
I can feel that.
But when I'm gonna settle down,
when
you settle down?
When are you gonna settle?
Oh, you settle down.
No.
She was dating one of the Migos for a minute.
Shut up.
Really? I heard that.
You did not hear that.
You like Southern love, don't you?
Yes, she do.
First of all, I was definitely not dating one of the Migos.
You definitely like Southern love, though. I know that.
Yeah, I think guys from
This get
down south
awkward.
are way more hospitable.
Is that so? Come on.
Maino.
Come on. Like Brooklyn, Harlem.
Listen, I'm from Brooklyn. I love my guys from Brooklyn, but y'all not as hospitable as guys from down south.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Maino, are you
Maino.
tricking on these women?
Tricking? What's that?
See, he doesn't.
Spending money
Are you
on
going
the-
on
on the
taking them
house.
on
What that
nice
means?
dates? Are you taking women on vacations?
I will. I would.
Have you?
I do nice things for the women that I like.
Do you eat the box, Maino? Khaled was up here. He don't
Yeah,
eat the
no,
box.
Maino-
You eat the box.
he
I'm
does
a
that.
grown man. Like, you understand? So if grown
Maino got a
men
hair
do
stuck between his teeth right now.
Probably, exactly. Grown men do grown men things.
Khaled
like,
say you don't. I don't get that.
but he from another country. So let's keep it 100. Like, that may not be a part of his religion. I don't know. Khaled is my guy. He said he don't eat the box. That may not be a part of. See, you got to look at the overall. That may not be a part of his culture. He be like, I don't go down on the vagina. Like, you understand?
Yeah.
Me,
What kind of accent was that?
me personally, I may live down there, depending.
All right.
Now,
I'm a grown man.
Have artists been checking in? Because I remember you and Uncle Murder had kind of like issued a no-fly zone.
I didn't do that. That was definitely my man Murder. I'm not. I didn't, man, let me tell you something about my city, man. I got like a love and hate with my city because it's like we don't get offended at nothing. You understand? And the dude will argue with me harder. Like, you know what I'm saying? The dude come here and say something about New York. Oh, man, you in South Run New York or whatever. And whoever wanna say something, we could do something and whatever, and issue this challenge and stuff like this. And the minute I say something, the dude from New York going harder on me. Man, you think who are you to speak this and that? That man is true. That man, what he's saying is true. My problem is that we try to justify everything. We don't get offended at nothing. Dude come in and say F New York and be like,
I can see why he said that.
Yeah, I can see why he said
Yeah.
that. like we ain't got, he got a point there, like, you know what I'm saying? But if you listen to what he was saying, though, and like, damn, you ain't gonna get mad at nothing? Like, damn, you know? But nah, I'm not with that. I ain't issue no fly zone, none of that. I ain't about none of that. Listen, the people that know what it is know what it is. I deal with artists all over the country. I got friends artists that I dealt with before all this stuff. So we gonna keep it like that. Like, real respect real gonna always recognize real, and I'm always gonna be on the side of that. No matter where dude from. You know what I'm saying? If you're 100, he's solid. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kevin Gates. He called me yesterday. Solid dude. You understand? Shout out to Tip. Dudes, I just connect with dudes all over, man.
That's your family, though, T.I.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I also saw on your Twitter that you posted about the NYPD, the cop who killed the unarmed man in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the problem with cops nowadays, man? Why are they so trigger happy?
I want to say this, man, because people get lost in the translation of the message. Like, I'm not a dude that think all police are bad. I actually met some officers that, that done their job.
That's interesting because you did 10 years.
Right, but I learned this, and this just comes with maturity. I learned the fact that the officers, he's just doing his job. That's his job, and as long as he handles me within the realms of that, then it's okay. If I do something wrong, then that's what it is. I got to deal with that. Right now, as long as he's doing his job and it's his job for him. But some of these people they just different with it. Like they just go beyond the call of duty, man. They just go beyond the scope of understanding, what it is that they should be doing, and they abuse the power and they abuse not all of them, but some of them, a lot of them. And this is why we have this disconnect between our community and them, because it's been going on for years. Like, you know what I mean? I've been beat by police, my arm been broke, I've been called by police. Like, so this is something that I've lived. I've been, my best friend 80 got shot by the police while he was on his stomach. He paralyzed to this day. You understand? So these are the things that I see is because it's abuse of power. They not from our community. They police our community. I think some of these dudes really need to be psych evaluated, truthfully, because a lot of them not able to deal with certain things. We don't know what issues they have at home. We don't know what financial issues they're going through, because we all human. And just because he has a gun and a badge doesn't mean that he's not susceptible to somebody or emotional. Exactly. Unstable somehow.
Right, absolutely.
So it's interesting. You don't hate the system, even though you did 10 years. And you talk about your brother 80 who got shot, paralyzed by cops. But most people like that be like, F the police, huh?
Nah, I mean, because it's wisdom. It's understanding that, not every cop is a bad one. You understand? Not every cop is a good one either. So there's a balance. Deal with me with respect. Deal with me as a man, and I deal with you as that. I got pulled over for suspending license a couple of times. Went to jail, and I had to tell the police, like, yo, listen, you ain't locking me up for no murder. Who are you? You're not greater than me. Who are you? I know I make more money than you. I know I done been more places than you, and I know I get way more than you.
Well, I got to put you in handcuffs now.
Yeah. Straight up, like, no, but I'm saying that, but that's
I'm losing your paperwork right now.
Right. But I've been in situations, arguments like that, only because you talking to me like I'm a boy.
Yeah.
Just lock me up, man. That's it. I don't ask for mercy. I'm not asking for, please, officer, please. I'm not begging you. Just lock me up and do what you got to do. Don't disrespect me.
See, some people would teach you to not talk back to the cops, let them say whatever they have to say, and you just be like, okay, officer, sorry, put my hands in the air.
Right, but right, because it depends on the situation, because you don't want to be in a situation where you ignite it and next thing you know, you dead, and we got candlelight vigils and we got you.
But it's just so hard when people are talking to you disrespectfully and you haven't done anything.
It's so hard.
It's so hard to just swallow your pride and keep your mouth shut.
You know, too, and I agree with Maino because I talk crazy. So I talk crazy a lot.
That's because your father's an officer.
But not only that, but I can afford my way out. You know what I'm saying? And if it gets to that point, I can afford for a lawyer. I can afford to fight it.
Right.
There's
no one wants to go through all that.
Nobody wants to go through it. Like, I'm like him, you're not going to disrespect me. And then when you get disrespectful, I'm going to be disrespectful back. And 9 times out of 10, my mouth is a lot worse. Pause.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I can afford my way out. So a lot of people who can't, don't put yourself through that system because spending, a week in jail or lawyer fees that you can't afford ain't worth it.
It just be so hard to let anybody talk to you.
Right, and that's just the thing.
Disrespectfully.
That's just the thing. It's just, we men. You deal with me like the human that I am, and I'm going to always deal with you and show you that respect. But let's respect one another.
Absolutely.
That's it. It's just about respect. And I think if more of them took that approach, we would be in a better place. Like if they dealt with us with a little bit more respect and dealt with us like men and not boys and animals, then we would be a little bit, a little bit more better.
Right. Don't get it twisted. My pops told me up. My pops told me shut up and then we'll figure it out later. But I just can't because it's just
because you know that because you know why because you know that it can make your situation worse.
Right.
It can only get worse.
But I also feel like nothing's gonna happen later. Like, so what? You're gonna say, oh, the cop was disrespectful and rude. It ain't gonna nothing's gonna happen. Like, what's gonna happen to them? What can you do?
You could.
Now, since I've known you, Maino, you've been big on discipline, man.
Discipline.
You don't let people disrespect you. Have you ever walked away? Has anybody ever been like, F you, Maino?
Yeah, I be
walked away.
Yeah, you know what? I be playing with my homeboys. I be like, yo, one of us need to be the bigger man, and it's not gonna be me. I'm immature, man. Like, I'm not going to be the bigger man. You
I've
walk
never
away.
seen Maino walk away.
Stop your nonsense,
I've never
man.
seen you in all my life. Every time, every club, every situation, I've never seen you run away.
Wasn't y'all in a situation where it was 10 against 3 or something like that?
Yeah. And he didn't walk away. Matter of fact, he got me involved.
He pulled me in.
Tuck your chain in there. We about to go.
Yeah. It was.
And what can you do? But you got to go.
For me, it's just like, I just come from a time and era where it was just, where you had to be ready for that type of stuff. I'm not in that place no more because this is not where we living at, and this is not where we living at. I think I've done a hell of a job adapting to, you know, the way things are now. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because dudes like me that think like me or worse than me, we don't see them.
Right.
You understand? That we
definitely don't see them anymore.
Right. They not around. They don't even make them kind of dudes no more. Them dudes is like in the hood. They stuck. You understand? So
in jail or
in prison
yeah.
or dead. So, you know, I'm a businessman. I'm doing things, you know, to help further my career, to help, you know, feed my family, and that's it. That's all. Like, I ain't out to really. I'm not here to make things hard on other people or try to create a gangster image. None of this. You know what I mean? None of that.
What about television? Because there was periods of time when you were doing a show.
Mona Scott Young said she getting you by hook or by crook, bro.
Then you had your own
Mona.
show that you were working on.
Shout out to Mona.
What is going on, Maino?
I love what Mona done with Love and Hip Hop.
I
love some of those girls.
We like to see you on TV.
You smashed a lot of those girls, too. Every time we talk to Mona or somebody, they be like, every girl that comes here says they messed with Maino.
So they say, allegedly.
They lied on their box.
It has happened, allegedly.
Who lied on their box? Somebody lied and said they smashed it.
See, why you got to go into details?
I'm just asking.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying allegedly. Maybe they lied, maybe they didn't.
Okay.
Maybe it's true. Maybe I have done it. You understand? No, you know, reality TV, nah, that's not for me.
Never ever?
Nah, it just has to
I
be
mean,
the
you
right.
were going to do it at one point.
Yeah, I was in a situation, and I talked to you about it. I was in a situation where it was going down, and it was, you know, deal was.
They told me they was filming and everything.
They was filming, yeah. I don't want to do it.
Nah,
I don't want to do it. You know, the thing about it for me is that I just want to do something that is just not one-sided. Right. I don't want to just show the side of this womanizing side, because I don't feel like that's just all cool. Like I got so many different sides of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a father. You understand? I'm a brother. I'm a man. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm writing a book. I want to show different sides of me, not just. I want to show my story, not just what I do with women.
You're a great and loyal friend.
Right, I'm a loyal friend. And because everything that we do in our personal lives may not be cool for TV. I don't know how that's going to look on TV.
You the first person I ever heard admit to being a womanizer.
I didn't say that.
I said maybe no, you said that's one side of you.
I didn't
you said that's
say
one
that.
side of you.
I'm not, man. No, listen, let me clear that up. Listen.
Maino will let you know.
Let me clear that up. The thing about that is this. A man that a single man, I'm a single man, you understand? That deals with multiple women may be looked at as a womanizer. And on television, that comes to life even more. The things that we do, like I said, in our personal life may not be looked at cool on TV. They're like, oh, he messing with her. Why he do her like that? Because you got to understand, these shows are created for women.
Right.
So the demographic, who we talking to with these shows are women. So I don't want to make women mad.
Right.
Well, let's keep it real, Maino. Of all the stories that people have heard about you with different women, it hasn't prevented anybody.
Right. It's different. It's different from what they hear to actually what they seeing on TV every week at 8:30. Look at this dude. Why you doing her like that? I can't.
But they all
him.
still would talk to the guy.
But maybe not. I just don't want to be the hated dude. I don't want to be that dude.
You don't want to lose all that box out there, all right?
Now you know I'm very particular. I'm losing that box, you know.
Now, how old's your son now? Like 13?
He's 12. He's 12.
So how do you have those talks with him? You get him started early? Or?
Yeah, I try to. You know what? I try to tell my son that I don't want him to be. I want him to be better than me. I want him to be. Better than me because I'm a man. I'm flawed. You understand? It's not everything that I do is not actually right. I'm human. You know, I still try to, you know, learn as much as I can every day. You know, but what I'm doing for you and how I'm setting you up now is that to be able to do more, to be able to do what I wasn't able to do, because what all this came by default. They want to know why I'm happy every time they see me, because it could have been way worse. I come from a dark place. I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to be on radio, on TV. None of these options are supposed to happen for me. So this is why they see me smiling all the time. So these are the things that I want for him. I want for him to have way more than me, and you know, because I'm not all way right.
Right.
Are you interested in having more children?
Yes, I have one.
Right.
Yep, a daughter.
Okay, how old's your daughter?
2.
2 years old.
2 years old. Look, envy face, he like.
Yeah, I never knew that one. I never met that one.
Yeah.
All right, Maino.
I saw some pictures of her. Super
Yeah.
cute.
Yes.
Well, you see that question? See how
I was leading the witness.
She's like the DA.
She has seen pictures.
I've seen pictures.
But she's like, you
I want to see if
she's like the DA.
Wow. She's not your friend over there.
I don't know, really. You're making me question my friendship with you, man.
No, Maino's very proud of his 2-year-old daughter.
Damn, man. Like, everything, you get me with this girl, woman, and then my man with the womanizer. I'm not a womanizer, maybe. Not.
Does having a daughter make you feel differently, though?
It does. It makes you think about some of your actions that you do and some of the things and some of the ways and how you treat women. And you know, a man is flawed in certain ways. You understand? And I know I am. It's just that I come to grips with my shortcomings. And I know that some of the things that I do is wrong. But it's almost like being on crack. You just can't get off. Just can't stop.
You be telling these hoes this stuff, man.
You can tell, right? Because he said Floyd 3 times, so he was in Floyd.
Man, don't be like, it's not you, it's me.
I gotta come to grip with what's going on. He used all these before.
There's a lot of women out there that want to help fix Maino.
How does it sound?
Sounded amazing.
Believe in you.
Sounded amazing. I'm like, wow, all right, okay.
That boy. No, but I'm not
gonna lie, his eyes got a little watery and everything.
That was his acting moment.
Yes, I feel like there's a lot of women that want to fix Maino.
No, yes, and I want to be fixed. And let's not make it. Listen, I tell women, listen, I'm not the worst man out there. You know, I'm not the best. I'm probably just average. It's just that I'm
a work in progress.
Right, and I'm more vocal and I'm more honest about who I am than the average dude. See, what's worse? Me, a dude that you know what it is, or a dude that's living double lifestyles, a dude that's married.
That's a regular line.
We all heard that before. That was me. I had that one.
Right,
I had that one in the playbook.
At least I'm keeping it real, and I'm a friend. Would you rather be?
Right. or the dude that's like on it down low and got a man over here, got a girl over here.
I've never heard that one.
Like, what you mean?
I ain't never went that far. I definitely used the first one though.
You know? Like, so you know that so. I'm like the lesser of all evils.
I have said, yo, what if I was beating you like this dude over here? Could be worse.
Could be worse. It could be worse because women I just tell women, like, it's always going to be issues. No relationship is perfect. No man is perfect. Right. It's going to be something like you're going to not deal with me and then deal with another problem. That problem may be better, may be worse. It depends on you.
What is your book about that you're working on?
See, now we talking. Now we talking, E.
Okay.
Now we talking. My book is about encouragement. It's not a book about my life per se. It's a book about that I developed for dudes that's either just getting out of prison or is about to get out of prison because I feel like there's no real advice, there's no real inspiration, and no real help to get these dudes to try to, re-enter society and be successful at that. Who else could give them the real talk like they need it but a person that's been in that situation? I know what it feels like to come home and to have these expectations, to come home to be on parole, and they telling you got to be in the house by 8:30, and you're like, oh my God, and the pressure of having a child and dealing with life's issues, and still at the same time you have a dream. So I know what that pressure is like for most of these men, and I wanted to write a book, from my heart that dealt with all these issues, re-entering society. I have a chapter saying smart is the new gangster because I feel like being a person in prison should learn as much as possible about anything that he wants to do because he needs to be able to come out here and do what he need to do. Being dumb and ignorant is not cool.
Right. You
understand? I have a chapter talking about Carlito's. It's called Carlito's Way because the movie Carlito, you see where Carlito, he was too loyal to the people that didn't deserve his loyalty. He didn't take time to really assess the people that he was around, and that led to his downfall. And that's something that a lot of men go through when they come here and they get back in these streets. So the book is called Expect Nothing and Gain the World. I got some stuff on the table for it. It's almost done, and it's going to be good. And I'm gonna suit. This is going to be a different Maino. Like, you're going to see me suit all the way up.
Nice. You're
going to see me suit all the way up, and I'm going to be like speaking and really delivering that. Yeah, because I feel like I wasn't giving back to my people in a certain kind of way, the people that I come from. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the prison system and dudes that you know, the brotherhood and people that believed in me and all the trouble that I was getting in and said, yo, you could go home and do that. So it's easy to get out here and you know, and come back and bring that platinum plaque back, get caught up in the women, the cars and stuff like that, and get caught up in the life and forget about that.
Right.
Because I never forgot, but I've been caught up in these things. So I said, you know what? It's only right. I have to at least give these dudes their game and this philosophy about being successful.
Right.
The first thing that we have to do to be successful is be successful at being free. And nobody else going to do it, so I feel like I got to do it.
Nice.
Well, we appreciate you joining us,
Expect
Maino.
nothing and gain everything.
Gain the world.
Gain the world.
King of Brooklyn 2 in stores right now.
Right now.
Make sure you go pick it up.
Maino.
Yeah.
Maino is the Breakfast Club.
Unstoppable.